Well, happy day. This is my first survival video, and if I survive it, I might do another one. I used to live way up on top of this mountain, about 3,500 feet. It was like 35 miles away from there, this village, something like that. And you learn survival skills when you're up on a place that isolated. And I lived there several years. But this survival video is not like how to survive in the wild or in the mountains. This survival video is about how to survive St. Patrick's Day, especially if you're alone. So first of all, you're going to need to assemble your required equipment, and this is what you need. Okay, you need a spoon, and you need a cup to put coffee in, and you need two different ladles, different sizes. One is for a half a cup, and the other one is for a quarter of a cup. You start off with a quarter of a cup. Okay, that's some of the equipment you need. Some of the other equipment that you need is you need a pair of scissors and some paper, and of course an assortment of various kinds of colored pens. Now, important also are the minimal amount of supplies. First of all, of course, you need coffee in your cup. Then you need sugar. Right? And I like to use Nesquik, chocolate. And I'll put the entire recipe up on a little storyboard for you so you can go back and reference it. The most important supply for surviving St. Patrick's Day all by yourself. Yes, you need a bottle of something like this. Good potable whiskey. Anyway, the bigger the bottle, the better. Now you start off in the morning, and you take your cup of coffee, and you take your first ladle, and you pour in your whiskey. Okay, like so. Start off with a quarter of a cup. Build up to a half a cup size, the other one, half a cup size, later in the day. Put it into your cup. And the next thing you do is take your spoon and you put in a spoonful of sugar. And you take your Nesquik and you put in a spoonful of sugar. And you stir it up. And you do this first thing in the morning. You get out of bed and you make yourself a cup of coffee, just like I described with that particular formula. Okay, excuse me just one moment. Sure, now we're off to a fine start. As you're getting out of bed, getting all of this ready so you can have your first cup of coffee, it doesn't hurt. You can recite the mantra, being Irish means I'm not speaking English. And, until it starts getting into kind of a rhythm, you'll enjoy your coffee much more. Speaking of that, cheers. Nothing like coffee first thing on St. Patrick's Day. Okay. Next thing on St. Patrick's Day that you're spending alone. It's a really good time of year to do something to remember other people that you're kind of missing. So I'm going to suggest that you do something creative, and that is make a couple of gift cards for people. And what you need is a piece of paper, and you fold it in half, like so. Now you can see the paper. And you take your pair of scissors. Got? Where is it? Alright. what you've got is this shape here, okay, which, when you open it up, becomes a heart. Isn't that clever? Now, back up here. Then you take your colored markers and you make a creative card, just to express love to people that that you miss on a day like this. Okay, so it doesn't have to have any particular design to it, but be as creative as you can. And this is the one that I did. Okay, Happy St. Patrick's Day, love from Mick. And if you're getting this, it's because I am sending love to you. Okay, but now, next thing is, don't leave yourself out. You're telling everybody else that you love them. Be kind to yourself. Good. So, make a card for you. You can use all your markers again too. I have green ones, red ones, and just be nice and make a card. I love you, Mick. See, it's not wrong to love yourself. It's okay. Grand. Let's see, what else can you do on St. Patrick's Day to survive when you're alone? Well, I guess there's really all kinds of things. You could make sure you have a good shillelagh, because about halfway through the day, if you've been drinking a lot of these, you're going to have to be beating the snakes back off the front door. So, I mean, despite the rumor that St. Patrick got rid of all the snakes in Ireland, he really didn't. It was my great-grandmom. She did it with this. Kicked the shit out of them. Anyway, you're going to need one of these for the days out. Also, if things get boring, I tend to try and do some creative things in addition to making cards. Now, with a little bit of advanced planning, you can plan to do a coloring. Here's Queen Maeve. There are all kinds of Celtic coloring books out there. You can just drink your coffee and while away with the colored pencils and that kind of thing. Also, I kind of like to include the neighbor kids. Especially I like to give them copies of this to color, and tell them about the Fomorians and how vicious they were, and how if they're not really good kids and don't say at least 30 Hail Marys before they go to bed tonight, that's what's going to come after them, is one of the Fomorians. See? I can guarantee you that the neighbors will never again ask you if you have time to mind their children while they go to the movies. Love St. Patrick's Day. Okay, one further item I almost forgot. When I'm telling the neighbor kids about the Fomorians, I like to have this right near at hand, so they get the kind of feeling about the whole thing. What do you mean my great-great-grandmother didn't drive all the snakes out of Ireland? It's at least as believable a story as St. Patrick's. Or for that matter, of the Christian Bible, when God ripped all the legs off the snakes. Everybody knows that the snakes had legs until God got pissed off at them and tore them off. So, anyway, this is to remember to my great-great-grandmom who drove all the snakes out of Ireland. But we do it on St. Patrick's Day because it's really true that the Irish are very religious people. But I want to show you that the Irish are religious people. But I want to show you what the real religion of the Irish is. And that's it. That's okay, nothing wrong with that. That's why we remember St. Patrick, because St. Patrick, while he didn't drive all the snakes out of Ireland, he did become the patron saint of alcoholics. And so we use it as a day, another excuse to go sit in the pub and do what we do every day. So this is just my quicko survival kit to help you all get through St. Patrick's Day, and I hope you have a good time. Later to y'all.